Quote Retreat by Sandor. One quote, one reflection, one thought that could bring a moment of light and energy to your day. Join me as we take a look at today's quote. The quote is by Buddha, born 480 before Christ, died 400 before Christ. It reads, "It is better to travel well than to arrive." Let's take a moment together to explore the messages within this quote. You know what blows my mind? The founder of one of the world's largest religions gave up being an actual prince, complete with palaces and wealth, to basically become a homeless wanderer searching for meaning.
That's such a radical choice when you think about it. Most people spend their lives trying to gain more wealth and status, not walking away from it.
Well, that's what makes Buddha's quote, "It is better to travel well than to arrive," so fascinating. Here's someone who had literally arrived at what most would consider the peak. Royal privilege, guaranteed power, endless luxury, and said, this isn't it.
You know what's really interesting about that? He didn't just reject luxury. He went to the complete opposite extreme first, nearly starving himself as an ascetic before finding what he called the middle way.
Right? And that journey itself became such a crucial part of his teaching. Like, he had to experience both extremes to understand that neither was the answer. It's pretty mind-blowing when you consider this was happening around 480 BCE.
That really makes me wonder, what would Buddha think about our modern obsession with quick fixes and instant gratification?
Oh man, I can just imagine his take on our 5 steps to enlightenment articles or mindfulness in 10 minutes apps, because his whole journey took years of dedicated exploration, and that was kind of the point.
Well, that's exactly what makes this quote so relevant today. We're all so focused on arriving somewhere that we're missing the actual journey.
And here's what's really fascinating. Even after Buddha achieved enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, which you might think would be the ultimate arrival point, he spent the next 45 years traveling and teaching. He kept moving forward, kept engaging with the world.
That's such a powerful contrast to how we often think about success. Like once we reach a certain goal, we're somehow done?
Exactly. And you know what's really interesting about Buddha's approach? He emphasized that everyone's path would be different. He wasn't saying, do exactly what I did. He was saying, find your own way, but do it mindfully.
That's making me think about how we measure progress in our own lives. We're so focused on these external markers, job titles, bank accounts, social media followers.
Right? And Buddha was basically saying, you're looking at all the wrong metrics. He suggested that the quality of our journey, how we treat others, how we handle challenges, how we maintain our integrity, matters more than any destination.
You know, that reminds me of something I read about modern CEOs who reach the top only to find they're miserable because they sacrificed everything meaningful along the way.
That's exactly the kind of situation Buddha was warning about. And what's wild is that this wisdom from 2,500 years ago is more relevant than ever in our achievement-obsessed culture.
So how do you think we can actually apply this idea of traveling well in today's world?
Well, I think it starts with shifting our focus from outcomes to process. Instead of asking, have I arrived yet? We might ask, am I learning? Am I growing? Am I helping others along the way? These were all central to his teachings about the middle way.
That's really challenging our whole goal-setting mindset, isn't it? Like maybe the point isn't to check off boxes, but to be intentional about how we're moving through life.
And here's something else to consider. Buddha's emphasis on compassion wasn't just about being nice to others. It was about understanding that everyone is on their own journey, facing their own challenges.
That's bringing new meaning to the idea of traveling well. It's not just about our individual journey, but how we interact with others along the way.
Exactly. And when you look at Buddha's life story, it's pretty remarkable how his personal journey of discovery turned into something that has helped millions of people find their own path. That's some seriously good traveling.
Well, that really brings it full circle. His journey didn't end with his own enlightenment. It just entered a new phase of helping others.
You know what's most powerful about this whole concept? It takes the pressure off of reaching some perfect endpoint and puts the focus on how we're living right now, in this moment. That's really the heart of Buddhist teaching. The present moment is all we really have.
That's such a liberating way to think about it. Instead of always straining towards some future goal, we can focus on traveling well right now.
And maybe that's the ultimate wisdom in this quote, that life isn't something to be rushed through or conquered. It's something to be experienced fully, learned from deeply, and yes, traveled well. With that, we conclude this exciting episode. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd appreciate a like and a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Your support truly helps this channel grow. See you again tomorrow. Yours, Sandor.